Hello, adventurers of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my guide, and thank you for taking a look at another one of our Ancestry overviews for Pathfinder 2e. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Halfling. This race has been a staple in virtually all fantasy genres for longer than I've been alive, for sure. Outside of that, this is one of the more interesting ancestries we've covered in the core rule set, as so far as to say I find it a little lackluster personally, but the feats that they get are so insanely good that I think it just kind of balances out in its own weird way. That being said, let's dive right on in. So if you're a halfling, you might get along well with a variety of people and enjoy meeting new friends, find it difficult to resist indulging your curiosity even when you know it's going to lead to trouble, hold a deep and personal hatred of the practice of slavery, and devote yourself to freeing those who still labor against their will. Needless to say, virtually all of these make for a great adventurer. More specifically, a lawful good adventurer, or maybe chaotic good if you want to really stretch and play into that curiosity aspect of things, but I can certainly see most people going the lawful approach with the halfling. Now let's get into how others probably perceive you. Others probably appreciate your ability to always find a silver lining or something to laugh about, no matter how dire the situation. They think you bring good luck with you, and they underestimate your strength, endurance, and fighting prowess. Now, the luck one in particular actually has mechanical implications, as we'll be getting into in later videos, but it might be more true than just a general thought. Outside of that, the halflings have a particularly nasty habit in the Pathfinder universe of being looked down on and treated like children. Needless to say, a lot of them aren't too happy about that. However, you could make the argument that you can end up swinging that in your favor in some situations. Now let's get into their physical description. Halflings are short humanoids who look vaguely like smaller humans, namely children. They rarely grow to be more than 3 feet in height. Halfling skin tones tend towards rich, tarry shades like amber or oak, and their hair color ranges from a light golden blonde to raven black. Halflings reach physical adulthood around the age of 20, and typically halflings can live to be around 150 years old, which is rather interesting. Basically, they mature fast, but they also live for a long period of time, so that really does open up the gateway for more senior and distinguished adventurers in your world, which naturally I'm a pretty big fan of. However, as the book mentions in further detail, they do look a lot like kids. Once again, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Kind of depends on how your character looks at it, I guess. It does provide a very interesting set of roleplay opportunities that all good GMs will surely capitalize on. Now let's move on to their society. They have no cultural homeland in the Inner Sea region, and they instead weave themselves throughout the societies of the world. You can make an argument that they're very similar to gnomes and goblins in this regard, probably more so gnomes than anything else. And wherever halflings go, they seamlessly blend into the society that they find themselves in, adapting to the culture of the predominant ancestry around them and adding their uniquely halfling twist, creating a blend of cultural diffusion that enriches both cultures. I really do like this. It almost seems to imply that halflings go about this practice almost deliberately, where gnomes go about it in a very roundabout, kind of chaotic and messy way. I really do like this. I think it's cool. It does lend itself to a couple interesting plot hooks or character choices, but for the most part, it is, in my humble opinion, kind of a less interesting version of the gnome in terms of how they approach society. Now let's move on to their alignment and religion. Halfling alignments vary, typically closely in keeping with the alignment of the other ancestries that live around them. Halflings favor gods that either grant them luck, like Desna, or encourage guile, like Norberger. And many appreciate Caden Selene's role as a liberator, as well as any religions common among other ancestries around them. Now, we have talked about Desna and Caden Selene in other videos, but we haven't talked about Norberger, which I'm 100% sure I'm mispronouncing, but he is a god of greed, murder, poison, and secrets, and has 4 aspects, namely black fingers, which ally with the alchemists and poisoners, the murderous father of Skin Saw, the thieving Grey Master, and the seductive Reaper of Reputation. Very interesting deity, sounds super cool. We'll probably do videos on each of the deities, breaking them down in the distant future, but overall, just a more evil kind of option for your halfling. I don't know exactly what set of decisions would lead them to pick that particular god, but I don't know. Let me know what you think down beneath in the comments section. Now let's get on to their names. Halfling names are usually 2 or 3 syllables with a gentle sound that avoids hard consonants. Preferring their names to sound humble, halflings see overly long or complex names as a sign of arrogance. Some common names for them are Anifa, Anati, Belix, Boram, Atune, kind of like that. Basically simple, really cool. I've always been a fan of the simpler names, as you all know from my previous videos, but I kind of like it. Let me know any ideas that you have for them down beneath in the comments section. Now let's take a look at their mechanics. Their starting hit points are 6, they have a speed of 25 feet, and they are considered to be small. They have ability boosts to dexterity and wisdom, and they get that free boost as well. Their ability flaw is strength. Under languages, they have Common and Halfling, and an additional language equal to your intelligence modifier, so long as it's positive. Choose from Dwarven, Elven, Gnomish, Goblin, and any other language which you have access, such as the languages prevalent in your region, and the traits are Halfling and Humanoid, which of course makes sense. Now let's take a look at their special traits here. The Halfling has access to keen eyes. Your eyes are sharp, allowing you to make out small details about concealed or even invisible creatures that others might miss. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus when using the Seek action to find hidden or undetected creatures within 30 feet of you. When you target an opponent that is concealed from you or hidden from you, reduce the DC of the flat check to 3 for a concealed target or 9 for a hidden one. I really do think that this might actually be the best racial trait we've covered so far. Just essentially really removing a tool from the GM toolbox of just making things hidden or invisible. I do like it. I think it's cool. I might be tempted to come up with some creative ways around this as a GM, but for the most part it's something that is surely worth discussing in a session 0. That being said, let me know what you think about the halflings down beneath. I do stand beside my statement of them being kind of the more lackluster in terms of interest in the more short races we've covered so far. That being said, as I kind of alluded to, their feats certainly more than make up for it, and I'm just very curious to see what you guys think of them down beneath in the comments section. That being said, I hope you all have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring, my friends. Actually, quick PS at the end of this video, the current way the channel's going, we will be finishing up the core rule races relatively soon, and I'm hoping to get done the Lost Omens before the Advanced Player's Guide comes out. So along that same vein, what would you guys like to see after we're done the core ancestries here? I am thinking maybe getting into backgrounds. Outside of that, there seems to be a lot of interest around the playable classes. So, I don't know, let me know what you guys think in terms of the general direction you want to see this channel heading in down beneath in the comments section. I really do appreciate it, naturally. Now, signing off for good, I hope you all have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring!